What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house again. Just come back with you with some more content. Going to our week 14. Yeah, that's what I said. Week 14. Man, it's a thing, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I get to this part of the season, it's like you excited for the game to hurry up and get here, but you know that the quicker they get here, the quicker they're gone, and before you know it, you done wish the whole season away, hoping that they hurry up and the days hurry up and get here. But anyhow, it's week 14. Only have 17 weeks. And then 3 weeks or so of the playoffs, then the Super Bowl, then it's over. Just like coming into the office on Monday is like, man, dang, I wish it was Friday. And we talk about that sometimes at the office, wishing it's Friday. Okay, you do know you kind of wishing your life away because, and before you know it, So yeah, each week I look at the matchups and I'm like, man, I can't wait for this to get here because I can't wait to see this team versus that team. But you fool around and it get here and it's like, oh man, you look back and you got more season behind you, way more than in front of you, and you realize that it's and not too much longer, it's gonna be all over, man, and you're gonna be jonesing for some football, man. And I know I will. Now me, I'll dive into the NFL, in the NBA. Because I like the NBA. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start doing some NBA videos, and I think maybe next week I'm gonna start a series of NCAA, college football videos, my picks and predictions, things of that nature, especially with the Final Four looming. We got a couple of weeks away for that, but each of them bowl games, I've watched some college football. Not as big a college football fan as I am NFL, but I know it. I know it pretty good, but. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, but that's not what you came on today for. Not what I'm in front of you today for. You want my week 14 pick'ems, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. As I said, week 14 coming around, and this is the last week of the buys. And this week, the buy teams are gonna be the Indianapolis Colts, the Miami Dolphins, the New England Patriots, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. Now, I thought it was kind of interesting that they had the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots off this week because they played next week. So I thought it was kind of interesting because none of those other teams are playing teams that coming off of buys, and the other teams coming off a bye. Usually that's kind of an advantage. You have more time to prepare. And this is the latest, latest in the season to get a bye. So, like I said, the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Colts, and the Philadelphia Eagles all got byes. And so from this week on, all teams will have played, won, and lost, same number of games. Teams haven't played 10, other teams played 11. Everybody be on the same sheet of music after this week, okay? So, let's go ahead and get into these pick'ems and let's kind of see what your Uncle Fred got stirred up today, and let's see what we got. All right. Well, the NFL Week 14 kicks off tomorrow night with a good game. I thought at the beginning of the season, I thought maybe this might be not maybe a Super Bowl preview, but a good a matchup of two playoff teams, but as week 14 comes around, these two teams are they battling right now to see if they can get a playoff spot. So anyway, the kickoff Thursday night football kicks off tomorrow night with the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Minnesota Vikings. Both teams coming off of Pittsburgh won. They won at home versus Baltimore. I don't know why I thought they lost that game. And Minnesota Vikings coming off. They go down in infamy. The only team to surrender and win to the Detroit Lions will be the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, so you got all that in mind. There's some injury stuff to clean up. The Vikings will be without Adam Thielen at one wide receiver spot, which means will mean Cage Osborne Osborne will move probably into the number 2 wide receiver spot alongside Justin Jefferson, and I think Darwin Cook is still out for the Vikings, and which means the starting tailback will be Alexander Madison, and the Steelers. And I've read that T.J. Watt will play, but Joe Hayden will not. So when you balance all that out, I was going to go with the Vikings, but when I seen Thielen and Cook both out, I got to go with the Steelers. I know they're playing on the road, and really, I wanted to go with the Vikings because I can't imagine what practice was like after you done surrendered the loss to the Lions. I guarantee you, them guys are running suicides. We call it burpees. They was running all them things. You lost to the damn Lions, bro. You know. But conventional wisdom tells me Pittsburgh's playing a little bit better right now, and I'm gonna go with the Steelers to win a close game. Would not be surprised if the Vikings got them, because I think the Vikings are favored. I think by like a point or two, because you get 3 points for being at home. Would not be surprised if the Vikings won it, but I'm picking the Steelers in this one. So we'll see what happens. Okay. All right, then for our Sunday games, and then a lot of the 12 o'clock games will be divisional game matchups. So at 12 o'clock, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. And I know about a month and a half ago, Carolina came into Atlanta and got them. I think it was like 19-13 or something like that. But since then, Carolina, I don't know if they've won a game. Won a game against Arizona. I remember a game they had no business winning. That was Cam's return, if I'm not mistaken. Came in and got 2 touchdowns on the red zone, and everybody thought that meant they Cam's back. Yeah, okay. It's good to see him back, but let's not act like he gonna set the world on fire here. Matt Ryan's playing some steady football, and Cordero Patterson. Man, that's a matchup nightmare. That dude, he's a running back, but he's big enough and he's tall enough and fast enough to play wide receiver. So he's kind of like a slash, if you will. Does a little bit of everything. Russell Gage and Kyle Pitts. I got the Atlanta Falcons winning this game. Coming into Carolina. Carolina just fired, I should say, Joe Brady, their offensive coordinator. When the season starts to go sideways, they start to jettison people and stuff. And that's a way for Matt Rule, I guess, to keep his job. If I jettison one of my offensive coordinator, I wish he'd gone down to Bama. That's why I think he need to go ahead and send Bill O'Brien packing. I need him. I need Joe Brady in Tuscaloosa. That's where I need him at. But odds on is that he may end up in Miami to be OC for Mario Cristobal in Miami. That's where he's from. So that looks like where it may be. But I sure would like to have him in T-Town. But anyway, I got the Atlanta Falcons winning that game in Carolina. Then we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns, and I kind of went back and forth on this one. Baltimore lost their last game. They beat Cleveland 2 weeks ago with Lamar throwing 4 interceptions. Okay, but the Ravens come into this game with injuries and on their defensive back end. Former Crimson Tider Marlon Humphreys went out last week against the Steelers, and he's out for the season. I want to say is it a shoulder? I want to say it's a shoulder injury. I'm not sure, but I want to say it's either a shoulder or something, or pectoral. It's pectoral. That's what it is. It's a pectoral muscle. That's what it is. And he's out for the season. Okay. So you get Cleveland with a week off to prepare, and maybe Baker Mayfield has healed himself up a little bit, and you coming in with no cornerbacks, and you play it against Jarvis Landry, and Donovan Peoples-Jones. And then you got that running game, with Chubb and I think my man Kareem Hunt is back. Much as I like Baltimore, they're just not playing well right now. Okay, they're just not playing well. They're injured. They got the most injured reserve players in the NFL with about 17. They're playing in Progressive Field in Cleveland. Against my better judgment, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns to win this one. Okay, I got Cleveland winning this one. I don't know what the score is going to be, but I got Cleveland winning this one against my better judgment. And I want to pick Baltimore, but man, if you watch their last 3 games, you watched them against Miami, you watched them against Cleveland when they played them a week ago, and then you watched them last week against the Steelers. Lamar just not playing well. The offense really just not playing well. They've scored like about 14 points a game now. Okay, and 16 against Cleveland. And what did they score against Miami? Wasn't it like 20, 22, 10, something like that? They scored 10 points against Miami. They scored 16 points against Cleveland, and they scored 19 points against the Steelers. Offense is not doing so. I got Cleveland. Then you got the Seattle Seahawks going to Houston to play the Houston Texans. Really not much to say about that. This one, Russell Wilson, had a good game against the 49ers last week in that upset win. Metcalf and Lockett, they got them guys. I think they're just going to have a party on the Houston Texans. And I look for Seattle to win that one going away. I don't even think that one's going to be competitive. So I got the Seattle Seahawks in that one. Then we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. About 3 weeks ago, these teams met at the what is that stadium called in Las Vegas? I can't think of what the name of it, but I know Kansas City whooped them 41-14 in that game. And at that time, Kansas City wasn't playing well defensively or whatnot. So they had just come off that lackluster win over the Giants, but they won that game, and they subsequently came back and beat the Cowboys and beat the Denver Broncos, surrendering only 9 points in both games. So right now, you would have to say Kansas City is playing better football, even though Mahomes is not playing very well right now. And don't know what the Raiders were doing. I hate to yawn, y'all. I don't know what the Raiders are doing because they beat my Cowboys on Thanksgiving. So I thought that they, turned the corner and they laid an offensive egg. Of course, if you watch that game against the Redskins, they weren't getting the same PI calls that they was getting against the Cowboys. They was calling every PI call that you could get when the Cowboys played them. And the guys just breathe on the guy. He getting the 15 yards. Okay. That guy got held. Zay Jones got held on that last play. Could have set them up for that field goal. No call came. And I know Anthony Brown was looking at that like, man, why ain't I get that kind of leeway? They called me on everything I did, So sometimes the Cowboys don't be getting the calls they're supposed to get. And it's like they got a vendetta, whatever. But I'm digressing. So we're talking about the Raiders. And so the Raiders, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's way too much adversity for them to overcome with Gruden, with Ruggs, and with Averett. The cornerback. That all that stuff going. It is too much, man. So I got Kansas City winning that one at Arrowhead, winning that one, and probably by a touchdown or two. So. I look for Oakland. Let's keep on calling them Oakland. I look for the Raiders to score some, and maybe but I look for Kansas City to beat them. Okay. Then we got the New Orleans Saints at the New York Football Jets. And look, man, I was tempted to pick the Jets in this because they lucked up and beat the Houston Texans 2 weeks ago. And right now. At the quarterback position, I would have to say that the Jets got the advantage with Zach Taylor. Both of them are former BYU stars, Taysom Hill and Zach Taylor. Zach Wilson. Zach Taylor is the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll get to them in a minute. But I just think Sean Payton and that offense and the Jets are like the worst defense in the NFL. I think they're number 32 in pretty much all defensive statistical categories. So I look for Sean Payton to dial up some good plays. I think they get Alvin Kamara back, and they get Davenport. That's the defensive guy that they were missing last week. Marcus Davenport. They get him back this week. They didn't have him against the Cowboys last week. That's the defensive guy. I couldn't think of his name, but yeah, Marcus Davenport. They get him back, and they get Alvin Kamara back, and Mark Ingram should be back. I like the New Orleans Saints winning a close one because I'm really not that impressed with New Orleans. But I think they're better than the Jets. So I got New Orleans winning that one. Then we got the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. Now, about a month and a half ago, Tennessee went down to Jacksonville, and it was a close game. I think it was like a 6-point game. All right. And so I look for Tennessee to get some get back. Jacksonville is just not playing well right now. They got them a win. They actually got 2 wins. They beat Miami and they beat Buffalo. Okay. But I don't look for them to beat the Titans this week. I think the Titans are kind of coming off that bye. I think they're a little salty for getting manhandled by the New England Patriots. And I look for them to bounce back this week and win this one going away. I got the Titans. I got my man Tannehill probably throwing a couple to, and I do believe Julio Jones and AJ Brown. I think at least Julio will be back possibly this week, and I look for Tannehill to throw a couple of touchdown passes this week. And we'll see what happens with that. So I got Tennessee winning. Then we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Washington football team, and I'm gonna do my own separate video. For the pregame for the Cowboy Washington football team game. But you know who I'm picking. You know I'm silver, blue, and white all day long. So you know I'm going with the Cowboys, getting almost all their players back from injury, and they had 10 days to prepare. And I look for the Cowboys to win this one. I got some people saying, "Oh, but the Washington football team won 4 straight." Tyler Heineke is hot as any quarterback playing right now. We got 10 days. We're getting all our defensive guys back. And I look for the Cowboys to win this. Okay. Then we got the Detroit Lions at the Denver Broncos. And look, man, Detroit got their first win last week. Denver, played well last week in defeat. I think the turnovers and this sort of thing, and some mismanagement by Vic Fangio and the offense, led to them not winning that game because Kansas City really couldn't move. I think they had like 267 yards of offense compared to 401 yards of offense by the Denver Broncos, so they can't move the football. Javonte Green ran the ball on Kansas City. I look for him to be able to run it on Detroit, but look, Detroit's not going to give up. They got them a taste of victory last week. Look for them to keep this game closer than you think it might be. It's a little tough to play at Mile High, but them kids have not. I'm calling them kids. Them guys have not gave up on Campbell. They've not on Dan Campbell. They've not given up on him. They play. Them guys still playing hard. Swift won't play. I think he's so they'll go with Williams, Jamal Williams. So but Swift. I think he's out with I want to say it's a shoulder injury. It's a shoulder or an ankle, which is like it's on one side on the other side of the body, one end of the body, one's on the other end of the body. But he's out, and so they're gonna be going with with Jamal Williams, and T.J. Hawkinson is playing well right now, and Amon St. Brown. Watch out for that kid. He got him a little taste of victory, but I got the Broncos winning. Pump your brakes. I got the Broncos winning that game. But Detroit keeps it close. Makes it interesting. All right, then we got the New York Football Giants at the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, look for this game to be closer than you think. Also, reason being because the Chargers have some casualties. It looks like Chris Harris, their star cornerback, and Mike Williams will miss that game due to protocols. Those are big misses. You got to go with Keenan Allen and Guyton probably to be the starting 2 wide receivers, to go with Jared Cook and, of course, Austin Eckler. But I still think that's going to be plenty enough to beat the Giants. But Giants have been playing some decent football lately, though. Don't knock the Giants. They played kind of good against the Dolphins last week, losing 20-9. And the Dolphins are playing probably some of the best football, in the last month or so, winning 5 straight. So I think they got the second longest winning streak to the Patriots, who won 7 straight. Okay, so so that there's no shame in losing to the Dolphins down in Miami. Okay. Everybody goes to Miami and lose. It's something about going down there. You go down there and you lose your daggone mind, But I got the Los Angeles Chargers winning the game, probably a little closer than it should be at SoFi. Maybe probably a touchdown, 4 points to a touchdown. I look for them to win. But under normal circumstances, I would look at it be like a 14-point, 17-point victory for the Chargers. But it'll be a little closer this time. Then we got this is why I call it like one of the best games of the day. Okay. The San Francisco 49ers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Both these teams coming off of disappointing losses. San Francisco losing at Seattle, and Cincinnati losing a home game to the aforementioned Los Angeles Chargers. Now, the truth be told, Cincinnati probably could have won that game, but that fumble by Joe Mixon flipped that whole game. They were driving for the go-ahead touchdown, and my man Campbell picked the ball up and ran it 62 yards for a touchdown, and that flipped the game and made it 31-22. And then Joe Burrow didn't have one of his best games. He's got he got hit on his pinky when he fumbled the ball, and on one of the hits he was sacked 6 times. They were getting pressure on him. That's why they couldn't generate any offense after they was down by a couple of scores, and they knew they had to throw the football. They was able to peel their ears back and come after Joe Burrow, and they sacked him about 6 times. And that's why there was he's just questionable this week with his pinky. But I look for Joe Burrow to play, and even with that pinky, he still completed quite a few passes. I'm going to tell you who had a bad game last week and look for a bounce back, and that's Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, and I forgot to mention it in my pick-up results from yesterday, but Jamar Chase had a touchdown that he should have caught where he had the guy beat. He caught it, but flipped it in the air, and the guy and the cornerback caught it and turning that into an interception, which should have been a touchdown, because if he catches that and keeps his stride, he's still running. And Jamar Chase had a bad game last week. I think he had like about 3 catches. Look for Jamar Chase to get off this week, against San Francisco. San Francisco's a little salty too, because they lost the game they should have won against the Seattle Seahawks. So this should be a very competitive game. But I'd like the Bengals to win this game at home, so I'll go with the Bengals. Okay. Then we got the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. And so I know what was said at Soldier Field. I own you. I still own you. And he said today he has no regrets for saying that. He just had to sit on my head right. But anyway, he said I own. So he said I have no regrets. I do own them. So they're going to Lambeau this week. Chicago wasn't able to beat Arizona in a windstorm and cold and frigid weather. Wasn't able to beat a warm weather team in Soldier Field last week. No way in heck they're gonna go to Lambeau and beat A-Rod. A-Rod, much as I give A-Rod a bunch of grief. I'm not one of his biggest fans, but Green Bay playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. And if I had a pick right now coming out of the NFC, it would be the Green Bay Packers, because I think they get Bakhtiari back on the offensive line. They get Xavier Alexander back in the secondary, and they get some other. And I think they get Zadarius Smith back. Oh, man, they've been winning it without them guys. I mean, you get, Zaire. What did I say? Zaire. Did I say Xavier? Zaire Alexander. That's his name. Zaire, like in Africa. Zaire. So you get Zaire Alexander back. They get Zadarius Smith back. And they get, Bakhtiari back on the offensive line. And, I look for Green Bay to roll in this one. Then, the game of the – wait a minute. I missed it. You know what? I missed the game. Because we got 2 games of the day. Well, really 3. The Cincinnati-San Francisco game was kind of a game of the day because that's going to be an exciting game. And then the Monday night game is going to be a game of the day. But I overlooked this other game. This is the game of the day, too. You got the Buffalo Bills going down to Raymond James Stadium to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And all the prognosticators got the Buccaneers winning that one. But after you get your manhood snatched like the Buffalo Bills got on Monday night by the Don Dada, Bill Belichick, they're going to come back ready to play. If you see Justin Poyer and Micah Hyde in that press conference, they coming at some guys this week. They're going to play. And Espinoza, I think that's his name. The linebacker, pass rusher. Look for him to get after some guys. And then, I look for Josh Allen to have a bounce back game. Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, and what's my man's name? We used to play at New Orleans. Sanders. Sanders. I look for them to move the football against them. Tampa Bay has been winning. Now I'm gonna tell you this too. Tom Brady right now, if I had to pick an MVP, would be my MVP. Leading the league in passing yardage, leading the league in passing touchdowns. Of course, he's got like 10 or 11 interceptions also, but they throw the ball. He's on pace to throw the ball 700 times this year at 44. Okay? So hey man, putting some spec on TB12's name. He's the man. He's the man. Okay. But I think Buffalo, because I think they feel embarrassed in what happened last week, and I think they take it out on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay may be a little fat and happy getting that win off of the Falcons last week. They still got some limitations on their defense. I don't know if all their corners and stuff are back. And I just think that the embarrassment factor and the from last week plays into this game. I got Buffalo winning this game, man. And so I got the Buffalo Bills. And then the Monday night game. Okay, I don't even have this game circled because I hadn't even made up my mind up until right now. Monday night, game of the year. Okay, you got the Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they played about 2 months ago in SoFi, and I want to believe that the Arizona Cardinals won that one by like 14 points, if I'm not mistaken, and it really wasn't even that close. I think it was like 37-17, but I think it was like 37-20, if I'm not mistaken. Memory serves correctly. Go back and check your boy out. But I think it was 37-20. So this game gonna have a lot of things in it. You got Kyler Murray and Hopkins coming. They came back last week. They see in better shape, better condition this week. I think they get Chase Edmonds back. If I had to look at it, I got Arizona being the better team because you got weapons. You got Hopkins on one side. You got AJ Green on the other side. Kirk. And then so you got all those guys, and then you got what's the tight end's name? Ertz. You got Ertz. They just got weapons for days, man. And then you got in the backfield, you got Edmonds, you got James Conner. Okay, good offensive line, defense playing some lights out. Chandler Jones, Byron Murphy, underrated corner. Be listening for that dude, Byron Murphy. That guy can cover. Okay. But having said that, the Rams coming off a bye. Not coming off a bye. They played the Jacksonville Jaguars, so yeah, I guess they did have a bye. But a lot of the noise is coming out that the Los Angeles and Troy Aikman, my boy, said, I never seen an all-star team win anything and this kind of stuff. So I look for the Rams to pull the upset. I done went back and forth. All my conventional wisdom says pick the Arizona Cardinals. Everybody saying pick the Cardinals, pick the Cardinals. Pick the Cardinals, pick the Cardinals, pick the Cardinals. They got the better team. They got the quarterback that's playing the best because right now Matthew Stafford ain't playing that great. They got the better running game. They got the better wide receivers. They got the better tight end. I think the Rams got the better coach. So I'm going to go with the Rams. I think the Rams pull the upset. I think they quell all the noise, and they have a game of their life Monday night. That's my second upset. I got that one, and then I got what was my other upset? I had another upset that I called. I had another upset. I think, I believe Pittsburgh over Minnesota, sort of an upset, and Atlanta over Carolina, and sort of an upset. So those are the upsets that I'm calling for. And Buffalo over Tampa Bay. Buffalo over Tampa Bay, and the Los Angeles Rams over the Arizona Cardinals. And like I said in my bumper for this video, your boy went 10-4 last week. I look to do a little bit better this week, and I think them 5-8 and 5-8-1. I think them weeks is over with. I think I done caught my stride. I'm looking. We got 14 games this week. Also, I look for 11-3. Yeah, 11-3. But week 14, man, means football season about to be wrapped up, man. So, what will I do once the football season is over? Like I told you, I'm gonna go in the NBA. I'm gonna do college. I'm gonna do some NBA, and may not be doing these videos as often until the NBA season kind of gets heated up. But we'll come and talk to you about some things, some moves, the draft, and things like that. So we'll be some things we'll come and talk to you about and stuff like that. And you got moving and shaking in college football, guys coming into transfer portals and stuff like that. So there's going to be some things for us to talk about in the hot stove in the off season. All the moves and stuff, free agency, this kind of things, all those kind of things going on, and guys signing with other teams and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff to talk about, but just the game to me is the most important thing. I love the game. All the other stuff, I'm like, get to the game, So it's all I got for this week, man. I hope you guys have a great week 14, and please watch the games, enjoy the games, and I encourage people to enjoy things while they're going on because what happens is you be in such a hurry to get things over with, to get to certain things that you don't enjoy them to the fullest as you should. As I said, NFL it's like the best thing going, man. Best sport in the world of sports, man. I love watching it. I love talking about it. I like talking to you guys about it. And so I just want y'all to enjoy it when you see those games. Enjoy them, So that's all I got from the desk of Uncle Fred. I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred experience. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Tell your friends about old Uncle Fred, about what he got cooking up over here. Tell somebody about Uncle Fred, all right? Please do that, and we're going to continue to keep this thing rolling, all right? We catch you guys later. God bless you.